Ta-da! All right. Your timer's right there, and your 1 minute starts right now.
Hi there, my name is Oliver, and I'm the founder of Support Trends. 80% of the world's data is unstructured, and only 1% of that data is actually analyzed. A great example of that data is call recordings. Every day, customers call call centers, and they tell us exactly what's working and what doesn't work, but there's such a high volume of calls that we can't analyze it at a very high level. So Support Trends' AI-assisted platform allows us to structure your unstructured data so that we can identify what customers love and what they hate about your product at a glance. Our years of customer support experience allows us to focus on key indicators such as estimated net promoter score, rep performance, and other key metrics. We're actually launching our product here today, right outside that door, and we're actively seeking investors. So come stop by our booth, either today or tomorrow, and we'd love to talk to you.
That was awesome. Cool.
Hey, my name's Jason Barkaloo. I'm the founder of Nobella Tech. There's a shortage of STEM professionals, and it's 24% growth for STEM compared to 4% for non-STEM. So Nobella provides a GitHub-like platform for STEM professionals and students, along with free intellectual properties, tools, and services. And we pay those participants with cryptocurrency, and we sell access to recruiters to mine those STEM professionals. The total addressable market is $61 billion, so it's a nice size market. So come talk to me about this exciting crowdsourcing opportunity.
Hello, my name is Nisarg Shah. I'm from Australia. Sorry. Hello, my name is Nisarg Shah, and I'm from Australia. Here to talk about Core IoT. It's a software solution that helps business to use IoT. IoT implementation for business is difficult. There's a lot of moving parts, sensors, gateways, some form of software, data ingestion, a lot of these things, and business not equipped to deal with that. Hence, they are not using it. But if business are provided a simple way to use IoT, they don't want to use it, but they want to embrace it. And that's what we have done. We have a bigger box for enterprise and smaller box for SMB. And that's all we do. We make things simpler. Thank you.
Hello, I am Alex from Warwin, and I want to talk with you about future of the virtual reality. 20 years ago, if you wanted to create multimedia presentation or customize your website, you had to hire web developers and wait for them to make changes. But at the present moment, any businesses can manage content at the real time without any programming skills using WordPress, PowerPoint, and so on. And I think the market starts changing where the content owners and customers, managers get option to manage content by themselves in the real time without any programming skills and does not wait developers. And we created for virtual reality. Meet the Warwin, the first reality management system where the Unity developers, designers, managers, content owners can work together and create custom VR solutions faster and with more convenience without any programming skills. Think about it like WordPress for virtual reality. Thank you, and visit our demo zone at the exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll keep this. All right, here we go. Our final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 startups are going to pitch. They've got 5 minutes to speak to you, and we'll do a few minutes of questions.
Have them repeat the company name because we couldn't get it.
Yes, for sure. You're not judging these 4, but you're going to be judging ones that come after. So while we have you guys here, can you really quickly give your name, which is already in front of you, and the name of your fund, which is also in front of you. But it'll just be nice to hear your voices. So here we go.
My name's Ken Elefant. I'm a managing director at Sorenson Ventures. We're a seed and Series A fund focused on security and infrastructure software.
Steve Schlenker. I'm one of the founders of DN Capital, about $500 million under management, mostly European deals, seed A, and it's software and software-related businesses.
Hi, I'm Tim Guleri with Sierra Ventures, investing our 11th fund, enterprise B2B, early stage, seed and Series A.
Hi, I'm Rohini Chakravarthy. I'm with NGP Capital. We are a $350 million fund based here in Palo Alto, as well as in Europe and China. We do Series B-ish deals, so Series A and B.
Excellent, thank you. And to the other side.
Hi there, I'm Gary Swart. I'm a partner at Polaris Partners. We invest in technology and healthcare, Series A and B.
Warren Weiss, Westwave Capital, early stage enterprise.
Yoav Samet, I'm a partner at StageOne Ventures, seed stage B2B on the axis between Silicon Valley and Israel. I'm based here, partners in Israel.
Jacques Benkoski, US VP, Series A and Series B in enterprise software, security, consumer, healthcare, and healthcare IT, and we do US and Israel.
Excellent. Jury members, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate your time. In front of you, in the laptop, you have a few grading rubric, and for you guys at the white tables, you also have that in paper form. Really appreciate you giving your time to score the startup so we can pick a winner. And with no further ado, I want to invite up a recovering competitive cyclist. He cycles hundreds of miles just for fun. So please put your hands together for Dave Anderson.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Dave Anderson. I'm the CEO and founder of Syte Logix, and I'm very happy to be here this afternoon. Syte Logix is a SaaS platform that allows managers to proactively guide how their teams perform to increase the success of their strategies. Now, almost every company out there uses performance management to guide and to track how their employees are, their productivity of their employees. Now, the problem with these systems is they're reactive, they're rear-facing, they're generally biased, and they are not designed to guide or to fix the performance of anyone. Using these systems to achieve results is almost like trying to drive a car forward while looking out the back window. It just doesn't work. Now, my 25 years in as a manager and as an employee have proven to me that performance management just doesn't work. Companies are relying on metrics that don't actually map to or drive strategy. When employees can't understand how they're performing on a day-to-day basis, they're more likely to disengage and actually leave organizations. And management usually spends up to 50% of their time simply fixing performance issues that could have been avoided. Now, we believe there's a much better way. So our solution replaces the use of these ineffective tools as a way to enable employee performance. How are we changing this model? First, we're automatically collecting all of a company's corporate performance data. Then we continually analyze that data against customized KPIs to create a real-time performance score. And then based on that score, we are recommending actions that teams can take to fix issues, and then we predict the impact of those actions against any future strategy. Now, our product delivers interactive and customizable dashboards that track the performance scores and trends for employees and teams. The executive level dashboard tracks performance by overall department as well as by category of KPI. Now, this could be product quality for engineering. It could also be new business development for the customer success group. The manager level dashboard tracks performance by overall team member on that team based on the KPIs that they've already been assigned. And the employee level dashboard provides a detailed performance report for every KPI that has been assigned to that particular employee. Now, we can create new KPIs and automatically assign them out to anyone at any time to support any strategy that changes. Today, we've invested $250,000 to complete our product research and to complete multiple prototypes. Our next major milestone is to begin our formal beta program, and we're currently negotiating to close our first 4 beta customers. We anticipate releasing our beta product by the end of Q3, early Q4 of this year, and in Q1 of next year, we plan on releasing our version 1 to market. Our market is the global performance management market, which is going to be over $15 billion by 2024. Now, within this space, we're targeting the 250,000 US companies of 100 employees and above, every one of them, which are looking to change and revise their performance management programs today. We think if we can acquire 1/4 of 1% of this market, we can deliver annual recurring revenue of $56 million by the end of year 4.
He has it muted back here.
Now, initially, we're going to roll out a KPI advisory program with each of our beta customers for 100,000.
So much. You're so lovely.
As we begin to commercialize our product, we'll transition to an enterprise subscription license model for a one-time deployment fee of $25,000 and a monthly subscription fee of $10,000. Our competitors include both enterprise HR vendors as well as multiple HR tech startups. Now, the large competitors are really only focused on improving the end-of-year evaluation processes. And our smaller competitors create apps that employees can use to simply give feedback to each other. Our differentiation is that we use corporate data to score performance in real time and prescriptive analytics to help companies figure out how to improve their results. Now, our team, we have a very strong team that we've built up that has proven successful in delivering and scaling enterprise software. Our ask is a $1 million raise, which we use to commercialize version 1 of our software product and release this early next year. Now, in closing, we have found that most companies overestimate the importance of where they're at today relative to where they're going. Like a GPS guidance system for employee performance, we help companies stay on track regardless of the strategy. Thank you.
Well done, Dave. Excellent. Let's give him a hand. All right, questions from the people on stage first. Who's got a question? Yes, go for it.
So can you talk a little bit about what integration looks like? I mean, for some departments, quota-carrying salespeople, it's maybe easier to tie performance to outcomes. For other departments, more qualitative. What systems do you interface with? Does it require additional input beyond automatic sifting through the system? So how long does it take and what does it look like?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're building integrations for primary systems within finance, HR, engineering, operations, and marketing. So we'll have automatic connectors that will automatically upload all of the data from those systems. So users won't have to manually upload anything to be able to use the product. We're also building integrations for third-party data sets so we can pull in social media. We can also pull in outside external data feeds from other press, other media, things that, that provide data that could impact how that company is performing against our strategy.
But somebody needs to label what success looks like.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Somebody needs to label what success looks like.
Absolutely. So what we do in the first phase of our engagement with the customer is we sit with them and we do an assessment on their historical performance that they've achieved. And we can analyze what the KPIs were that were most likely to have driven that level of performance. From there, we actually create a future KPI roadmap, and that KPI roadmap actually becomes the content that drives the underlying performance scores. Now, each of these KPIs is tied directly to their strategic initiatives that they have defined. It also is tied directly to the actions below that the employees and the teams do in order to actually deliver that level of performance. We also incorporate skills and competencies that the employees should be bringing to the table to be able to achieve that activity.
Any questions on this side? Grab the mic. Here we go.
Given the competitive landscape, talk about your channel market strategy, your go-to-market, what you expect your sales cycle likely to be, and are you planning to do trial before you buy? Are you planning to go into one department and expand across the organization? How do you expect to gain traction within the customer base?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're working with several partners that are more community and industry based that are driving this thing called people analytics out into all of these different organizations. They're really a big push towards helping companies build in new analytic capabilities to improve their HR programs. So we think that the average sales cycle right now is going to be about 3 to 5 months. The beta customers that we're talking to right now, we've gotten to a negotiation stage within about a month and a half. We don't think that's going to increase too much as we start to roll out.
Super. Well done. All right. Thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you.
I appreciate the short who's. Who's doing that, by the way? somewhere in that direction. But I appreciate you. Thank you for the energy. All right, next up, we've got a self-confessed video gaming addict who in his worst period does 2 to 3 hours a day of video gaming, although right now his heart and passion is a startup, which is electroNeek. Please put your hands together for Sergey.
Hi, guys. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, it's good. Yeah, we are electroNeek. We are a platform for creation and training software robots for mid-sized market companies. Yeah, here is our team. Yeah, we are working together around the world, around industries, and we have people from some high enterprise acceleration program, like a Microsoft for Startups or PwC Accelerator. Also, we have some developer team from big solutions companies like Acronis, and we have business development people from Ernst & Young and Genpact. And also, we have a big problem. It's a repetitive, boring, routine task inside mid-sized market offices. You know a lot about it. It's a fill in the form, open some application, read the documents, collecting the data from internet. And you want to automate it, but you can't because you have a lot of applications. So, for example, desktop application, cloud solutions, or some internet website. And you don't have a solution for it. But right now, you have electroNeek. It's software bots that imitate user action via user interface. It's so simple. Right now, you can see how it works. You need to take some business processes from your employee and write a very simple instruction. You can use napkins for it if you want. After that, you need to convert that instruction into workflow and give that workflow to our bots. And our bots repetitive these tasks. Let's see just one case from one of our clients. It's a typical sales routine of sales department. You need to read email, find some invoices, recognize it, go into Salesforce, open some Excel, making some reports for boss, you know. It's so hard. But with our drag and drop interface, you can connect steps each other, and you need just a click run button, and the robot do it everything. Yeah, we save time, and the time saves money. But it's not about only time. It's about accuracy, because our bots don't make mistakes like a human, yeah. We are not alone on a playground. We have big competitors focused on high enterprise clients. And we have a big market. It's a robotic process automation technology, you know. And we understand the pains of mid-sized market clients. Of course, our competitors have a lot of difference. But one word is expensive. Expensive IT professionals, expensive implementation, expensive price of license. And we made development of software bots affordable. We solved all of these problems. We have a very simple business model. One boss for every client, run every day without limits, and pay just $100 each month. It's like a price for everyday coffee, you know. Where are we? We have started our sales in February this year. We are New York-based. We are funded. We have revenue. We have a big pipeline of potential clients, and we are looking at implementation partners right now in the US because it's a big part of our go-to-market strategy, you know. And I would like to end my speech with this statement by Mark Anderson: "Software is eating the world." And I would like to combine with our statement, software is eating the world, but electroNeek is eating repetitive, boring tasks. Thank you so much, guys. If you want to chat with me, we have a demo stand in Amazon. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. It's my first speech on English. Sorry for my language.
English is great.
Thank you.
My mic's on. English is great, and your beard looks better than his. So, all right, questions? Yes.
I'll go first. Could you go back to the numbers slide, because I wasn't sure how many customers you have, or you know, you have numbers over here that 1,000 licenses sold. What does that mean?
Yeah, we sold subscription model licenses. Our clients paying every month, and we have monthly, yearly revenue like this one.
Okay, so that's your recurring revenue.
Yeah, recurring revenue. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions?
Do you have a main use case? So are people using it to clean out their email? What's the most popular use case?
We try to find any part of business processes in offices. For example, if you have some employee who need to make a lot of repetitive tasks, and you have, for example, 3 or 5 employees in a department, you can create that bots, take a part of tasks from the human employee and give to robots. It's not about 1 or 2 second use case, because we can automate any system, because we're not about coding, we're not about connections, yeah? We clicking buttons, clicking links on website like a human, yeah. As simple, if a man can do it, human, our bots can do it too. It's very simple.
Any questions on the other side? Any questions from the floor? There's a question over here, great.
Yeah. So obviously RPA, huge market,
yeah,
big traction right now. Most of the players who've implemented are bulge bracket firms that are going through major changes. They're using firms like an EY or otherwise. What is the reason why you feel the mid-size and SMB market will have the desire and the initiatives to want to go through a process of automating the processes?
Do you know UiPath? Yeah, of course, yeah. Big software from the RPA sector. Yeah, we started from implementation partner of UiPath 3 years ago. We made a lot of projects for high enterprise, and we tried to sell it to a mid-sized market, and we can't, because a lot of problems, types of robots, attendant, orchestrator, you know. And we take off any stopped function for mid-sized market, of course, and create our solution. And we understand we can't find a big repetitive task in mid-sized market companies, but mid-sized market companies changing every time and need a lot of integration, and need a lot of connection and automatization. And when mid-sized market companies started to use our platform, they save money. It's really, we have that clients, it's proof.
All right, is there a final question on that side?
Sorry, I don't hear it.
It's working. If you're going to go to that market, you really have to have a dashboard in your mind of what's going to be your customer acquisition cost, what is going to be your revenue per customer, and what's going to be your churn.
Very bad here.
Customer acquisition costs.
Customer acquisition costs. Yes. We have 2 ways to acquisition our customers. First is classical marketing, you know, it's direct sales. Another in partnership network. And we prefer partnership network. We invest in partnership. We teach our implementation partners. We give a lot of materials. We are making a lot of events. And our acquisition cost for one client, it's like $500, I think. And so it depends, and we try to find a new low level, but right now it's a lot.
Thank you.
All right, Sergey, thank you so much. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Let's give him a hand.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, our next speaker has done business on all continents of the planet at some point in his life, minus Antarctica, which is pretty amazing. Please put your hands together for John.
That wasn't, come up with something that wasn't business related, and be honest, I struggled. So I'm here for Skywriter. This is a company I started, if I can get this, there we go. Company I started after working with a large number of different startups worldwide, because every time I did a company, every time I tried to come and expand the company, we always struggled with the same thing, which was, how do we get our message out? How do we organize our content? How do we distribute that? And so instead of just going, wah, I don't want to do that, we built a solution for that. So for the last year, we've had 8+ developers and the rest of my team developing that solution in a super simple to use platform. So the rest of my team, we have a marketing business channels development person, John Dickinson. Eric Chasen, my technical partner, has built massive scale solutions for the government and also industry, including TSA and whatever else. So your data has gone through his code. So what are we doing? What's the challenge? The challenge is content marketing. I'll call it content marketing or broadcast. Is complex, expensive, and confusing for most people. The opportunity is huge. We actually started thinking small businesses. What we actually found out, and I'll get to it later, is that we have massive pull for our product for companies that have satellites or a large variety of companies or customers that they broadcast to as well. And so it's very much a broadcast channel type model. That's definitely what's happening. And our solution is content-focused, SaaS solution, full service, full platform, integratable with other tools. So everyone's got to have a 4-quadrant chart, or at least I do, to make sense of the world. We have a lot of tools out there in this space, but when you look at what actually brings focus on the content, organization, management of that content, and how to distribute that, it's actually quite lacking. It's actually quite complicated. And so we've created a content marketing, content-centric focus, and it's really omni-channel. And I'll tell you a little bit about that as we go through this. So specifically, the core of what we do is content. We have a simple-to-use solution where content can be uploaded, any kind of digital content. It can be individual pieces of content. It can be collections of content, sequences of content. So think advertising, marketing campaigns, think insurance or benefits documents, think education, think whatever. Our current customers include corporate training for employees, customer training for their products for some companies, but it can be viewed in a graphical form. It can be searched for within the system. We also can use the system to import contact information and then distribute that out to people across different channels, including social media. And of course, email, create an email, schedule an email, broadcast an email, keep statistics, do the same thing for social media, and also do the same thing for websites. So the web presence can actually be created to be a portal, a broadcast point for the content. And so as I go through in a quick example, of course, analytics. You've got to know everything's going on about everything, including how much video is watched and everything else. So net, super simple platform that does everything that these corporations, enterprises need to broadcast content across their channels. And what that generates for us is anywhere between 100 and 5,000, roughly, monthly recurring revenue. And our customer list in 2018, we had Druva, Contrast Security, and Cisco, and these were very early engagements with partial product. We now have expanded that to a large number of betas. Actually, betas kind of passed, and we just launched a real product, self-service, right now, last weekend. One of them, just as an example, one of the lead customers we're going into right now is a business that has a channel of 40,000 business contacts. They're a content distributor to their specific market segment, which happens to be insurance. A conversion rate, simple conversion rate of even 10%, generates $5 million a year. So this is a very scalable business. This is very conservative, but the market that we're serving is quite large. And what we're doing right now is we are doing the last tail end of our seed round, which we've got about 100K left on our seed on convertible notes, and we'll be doing a series seed over the summer, early fall. Thank you.
All right, well done, John. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
You keep that, hold on to it.
Yeah, questions?
All right, question over here on the right.
Hey, kid.
Hey, John. So the way that I see it, I think there's two totally different personas here. I mean, Cisco has a lot of content development people. They have a lot of content as well. And then it sounds like that you suck up the content from each one of these systems and try and automate a way for them to get that marketing out.
Right.
I'm not sure if I understand the self-service mode for the small customers.
Sure. Yeah, so the normal model is, the way we built it originally was, it's a platform that's easy enough for even a small business, it could be a restaurant or whatever else. It's a self-sign-up subscription model, no problem. When we get to the corporate clients or the insurance clients or other people in that space, actually digital marketing is another one. They actually have a lot of capabilities, but they still want to have a centralized place for content. Once they've created that content, then other people that work with them, so like an insurance broker or insurance company, each of their brokers could then subscribe to that, quote, content, cloud, right? And then they can actually use those as templates, and they can customize it to their local office, their local use case. We also have university accounts, which they actually do pay us, right? But university accounts is education, same platform, just different, different terminology. And they do the same thing, right? And that hub and spoke model is super scalable because centralized content, they can use it as a template, they can use it for their own purposes, customize it as they go. So I don't know if did that kind of help? Because in that case, our Cisco model or Cisco use case was actually training salespeople. Our Druva use case was actually training customers of Druva of how to use their products, right? So very different use cases.
Thank you.
Great. Other questions from the jury? Anyone from the floor with a question?
No.
Sorry, I had a quick one. Any sense of what it costs to get a customer, so LTV to CAC? Because SMB, that's the
exactly.
That's the challenge,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So I've done this before with other companies where you have an SMB kind of self-service model, and that's really just marketing. And we're a marketing platform, so we expect to use our own platform to do that. We also do direct sales to things that are channels. So ISPs, people selling products, services to businesses, and then that becomes a channel sale for them, and we can white label it for them, and we're doing that. But the SMB kind of that model, it's completely self-serve. It's basically based on that. And what I found in the past in doing these type of companies is it's actually a really good thing for that to be there. So enterprises and other businesses, non-confrontationally go try it out, filter themselves out, and then choose to contact you and say, yeah, I got the entry-level deal. I want to expand and have the full, full menu.
Last question.
I couldn't tell from the presentation if today on the implementation you have enterprise-grade functionality, things like single sign-on, whether you have content control, if that's manual or if that's automated, the curation, the orchestration.
Right. So single sign-on, all of that, and also managing the channels that they use, because from an administrator, have different roles, but from an administrator, they can set the permissions of who can use what parts of it, and that includes who can publish content or share content, and then from kind of enterprise grade, whatever else, we've generated custom software within Amazon to kind of do automation for creation of all the content, all of the infrastructure within AWS, and so all the DNS stuff, everything else is automatic. So we already have a few hundred sites that people have, quote, auto-generated using the tool at this point.
Well done, John. Thank
you
you so much. All right. You can take that up. If you're curious if Santa Claus is real or not, this next gentleman has taken actual sled dogs and reindeers to the actual headquarters of where Santa Claus lives in minus 40 degrees Celsius. His company is headquartered in Helsinki, Finland. It's called Aline. Please put your hands together for Mohan S.
Yep. Hello, I'm Mohan Sri Parambaduru, founder and president of Aline Consulting. Undoubtedly, we're in the midst of IT and data renaissance period, which is fundamentally transforming the way we live, work, and play. Data is created at massive rate, with 90% created in the just last 2 years. It's growing by double digits every year. This is forcing businesses around the world to respond and rethink their business models, else they're left behind. Rightfully so, the companies have invested about $2 trillion, 1/10 of US GDP, in 2018 alone. However, the results are so bleak that only 16% of the digital transformation initiatives succeeded, whereas 84% of the digital transformation initiatives failed to deliver results. Why did companies fail? The most important barrier to success can be summed up to the complexity. To develop a useful business solution, companies have to choose from a plethora of tools, most of which offer point solutions, require coding, and are not scalable. And for a business solution, multiple technical problems need to be solved, so multiple tools need to be selected. And next, finding the right IT talent, companies need to build competent teams from ground up. And finally, the teams do the complex task of stitching it all together. And guess what? With such complexity, you diminish your ability to deliver anything useful. It's difficult to support. The higher the complexity, the lower the returns, and hence the 84% failure rate. We witnessed this firsthand, serving with Fortune 100 clients in the past 17 years. We're a small-scale digital enterprise services company based in Helsinki, Finland. We have about 150 people spread across 4 continents. Anticipating this problem about 5 years ago, we began a journey to develop a next-generation software that tackles this complexity problem head-on. We introduce you to Lima, a unified revolutionary enterprise intelligence platform that is auto-elastic and it's scalable. It is 100% UI, right from server configuration to drawing actionable business intelligence. It has 9 integrated business functions, right from data collection from 40+ sources to harmonizing it, managing it, and ultimately monetizing it using the latest data science PA/ML algorithms, all with click of a button, simple, easy to navigate, simple to navigate UIs. It is partly developed on the open source technologies, but the complexity is so very well masked that it eliminates the need to secure a variety of IT talent. Subject matter experts can instantly use a solution via the UI and draw intelligence from raw data in a matter of hours or days, not weeks or months. So with Lima, we solve the most critical barrier to success in the $2 trillion spend in a most cost-effective way, delivering the results at speed. Of course, such a feat is by no means is easy. It took us 5 years, 100 developers, $5 million investment, 1 million lines of code. Our revenue model is based on licensing the solution, which can range from millions for large enterprises to tens or hundreds of thousands for small to medium-sized companies. We have 2 paying clients so far. We are in advanced talks with many other. With still 90% of the Fortune 5,000 working in old IT ways and 84% failure rate in the $2 trillion spend, there's a tremendous potential for a solution to shine and capture the market. Our competition is very well-funded companies whose market cap is in billions of dollars. When compared with Lima, their solutions are much smaller in scope with limited functionality and scalability. We have a strong leadership team with decades of expertise in technology and transformation and digitization. We're working with top service providers, and we also offer our solution in the top cloud marketplaces. And currently, we're looking for a partner investor who can act as a catalyst with deep expertise, not to mention pockets, who can help us in 3 key areas. Number 1, aggressive go-to-market. Number 2, marketing and branding. And number 3, transition from a services company into a product company. On a final note, it's been 50 years since a company called SAP offered a unified solution in the ERP space, and 20 years since a company called Salesforce offered a unified solution in the CRM space. We truly believe there's a huge potential for a unified solution in this emerging enterprise digital intelligence space, and we are in a pole position in this race to capture the $2 trillion and growing market per year. Thank you for your time.
Well done, Mohan. Well done. Stand over here. Hold on to that just in case you want to click. There's a question on the left.
Hey there, how you doing? I never met anybody who went to the North Pole. I think that's cool.
It was cold, for sure.
All right. So I didn't understand your unique intellectual property vis-a-vis the competition you described.
Right.
Those vendors are in the transformation, software data transformation business. You described a no-code kind of environment for workflow. I didn't understand why your product was unique or who you compete with.
Today, the market is such a way that it's fragmented. People offer point solutions. They call best of breed, whatever. But when it comes to incubation labs, yeah, companies go for best of breed or whatever. But when it comes to core business operations, they want something simpler, implement enterprise-wide that enables businesses to really act.
What's your unique intellectual property?
So
that's consulting.
What we do is we take the solution to the business users, pretty much people can draw intelligence from massive amount of data in a matter of minutes or hours, however complex your data can be, or how many sources that you have, unstructured, structured, semi-structured, whatever it is. But you don't have to waste your time on starting a project, getting the right IT talent, tools, stitching it all together and all of that. And it offers, it also has, it offers the advantage of having the latest technology baked into all of this, right? From data intelligence to storage to drawing actionable intelligence on a massive amount of data. So essentially, enterprises can implement all across the divisions for all across the world and get, and the time to market for any data is pretty quick.
Another question over there? Yep.
So you clearly have a consulting background. The company is a consulting company. The way you speak just now, to me, talks consulting. Why try to change? You have a great company. Keep going.
That's a very good question, sir. It goes to the basic conviction of who I am or what we do, right? Yes, we travel around the world. We solve problems that enterprises face. But when you see a problem, a recurring problem, and then there's so much of spend and there's a wastage, I mean, it's in our DNA to solve the problem. So we trying to solve the problem in a most effective way so that we let the people deliver value rather than, waste, right?
That's absolutely true, but you're doing that in a consulting manner today.
Right.
And my sincere recommendation to you is that you continue to be a consulting company.
I agree.
Why?
Because you haven't told us you have a product. You tried. Yeah. But I think you're not a product company. You're a consulting company. And I think that's great.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to make a ton of money capturing the market.
See, the value proposition is this, right? The value proposition is that, there are tons of tools, and then instead of companies spending tons and millions and billions of dollars and try to get it all together, and then by the time all this happens and the value gets delivered, the business has moved on, or you have the lowest common denominator of all the pieces, right? What we are trying to say is, forget about all that. There's a unified solution that offers you advantages of, I'll tell you the use cases, sir.
Mohan, you got 30 seconds to give a use case. Go for it.
For example, we have a robotics company that said, Waymo, Google, they said hey, we have a lot of robots that send in data, we want to scan it and then use it and apply some IoT or machine learning logic to it and draw intelligence. They can do it in a matter of hours or days. Or Intel is using it for their supply chain intelligence to be able to better manage their factories and suppliers. All with, click of a button. We presented our product to Intel, and then they liked it. Not only business people, but also wider IT community. And it helps them in harmonizing, rationalizing enterprise application landscape and reducing their cost of implementation, right, by 50 to 70%.
All right, let's give it up for Mohan. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Oh, I feel good because I'm about to stick to my promise. We have our last one, last person to pitch, historian and a hacker from Berkeley? Berkeley. Let's give it up for Robert. Come on, guys, come on. Hey. All right, your 5 minutes starts right now.
Great.
Go for it.
My name is Robert Hodges. I'm the CEO of Altinity, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the Altinity analytic platform and how we're building for a world of pervasive data warehouses. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our company first, though, before I get into the main value proposition. We're a software and services company for data warehouse. So if you don't know what a data warehouse is, it's a database that's optimized to give very fast answers to questions about very large amounts of data. The data warehouse that we're working with is called ClickHouse. It was developed by Yandex, open sourced in 2016, and it's been adopted by hundreds of name brand companies like Cloudflare and Spotify. They like it because it gives fast answers on petabyte scale data sets. It's also turned out to be a great way to start a business. As you can see from the metrics that are on the slide, we're profitable and we're growing rapidly. But what I really want to talk to you about is a much, much bigger opportunity. One of my favorite people in the data management, in the database business is Anurag Gupta. He's the guy at Amazon that was responsible for RDS, Redshift, and Aurora. And he says that enterprise data increases 10 times every 5 years. This volume of data is enormous, and it really, you have to think of analogies to appreciate just how big this is. Let's use a simple one. Let's imagine in 2015, your enterprise data had the volume of the planet Earth. Let's now go forward 5 years. We're now equivalent to the volume of all the inner planets, all the moons in the solar system, all the asteroids put together. Sounds pretty big. 5 more years, we're almost up to the volume of the planet Neptune. 5 more years, you guessed this was coming, we're close to the volume of the planet Jupiter. And it's not just that the data is big. The data is becoming big because it's growing everywhere. And this creates a very interesting problem for businesses. Businesses now need pervasive insight. It's no longer sufficient to move all this data to centralized locations, process it, and get answers and hand them back. You need to have the answers everywhere. We are solving that problem by building a platform that enables any application to include a real-time data warehouse. It doesn't matter if your application runs in the cloud, on Kubernetes, or bare metal. If you need a data warehouse, you just spin it up and plug in. I'd like to just run this by a couple of our customers and show you the effect that it has and justify why we believe that this is important. One of our customers does log management. So they enable their users to figure out errors in software very quickly by finding patterns that help them diagnose failures. They love ClickHouse because it's orders of magnitude faster than MySQL. But what they really want in the future is more stable builds so that they can put more systems on it, be sure that it'll upgrade, so on and so forth. Another customer, fraud detection. We have a customer that builds fraud detection systems for banks. Right now they use ClickHouse because they can just throw data into it, explore it, and use it to tune their models. They love it because it's easy to set up and it's 10 times faster than the competitors. This is what they really said. But going forward, they need more. They need it to be secure and make it PCI compliant. Once we get that, they can build it into their stack from top to bottom. We're answering their requirements as well as those of many other customers by building what we call the Altinity analytic platform. What we're doing is we're taking ClickHouse and we're beginning to wrap it into a distribution that is portable, simple, secure, and fast. So the idea is that you can just pop it off and you don't have to know that much about how it works, and up it comes and it runs. Now this is a very crowded space that we're going into, and I'm sure there'll be questions. In our case, we have 2 cardinal virtues which will enable us to win. We are portable, we can run anywhere, and we're simple. We don't have a lot of dependencies, you can basically start us up and manage us easily. That will enable us to compete effectively. Our monetization model is enterprise platform. 3 major markets we're going after: SaaS, cloud, and OEM. Those are obvious areas. I'd like to focus on OEM because this is where you start to see what the unit economics can be. Think about where the data is coming from: your house, your car, your truck, your retail space. These are environments that are now dominated by software. The software will need data warehouses. We can now see that applications, millions of applications, will need data warehouse capabilities. We have a great team. I'm short on time. I'll just say we have 100 years of experience in data between us. That's the management plan. We're backed by more people behind us. We also have the founders of Percona, the most successful service bureau in the MySQL market. Some of you out there are probably wondering, how was it I missed MySQL? Or you might be thinking, where is the next MySQL coming from? We're building it today. If you'd like to find out more, give us a call. Thank you very much.
All right, stay right here. Questions from the judges over there on the left.
My understanding is to bet on Altinity is also to bet on ClickHouse.
Correct.
And I'm no expert on ClickHouse, but at least my perception was that it was adopted more in kind of the Russian-speaking communities. I don't know where it is today. So can you speak a little bit about the progression and evolution of ClickHouse, and how do you really plan to stack up scale-wise with BigQuery and Redshift?
Well, okay, so those are, I think there's two questions hidden in there, like how do we build for example, how do we build the community and the adoption? And then how do we stack up against specific products? I'll take the BigQuery one quickly. Those are cloud products. So if you need to run, and so basically they leave 60% of the market away. So, if you need to run on-prem, you need to run in devices, they don't run there. So that's how we compete against them. I think building the community is really one of the big questions in this. And what I will say is that we've worked in open source for a long time. We know the MySQL community. We know how to sort of build enthusiasm, evangelize products. I've done that for years. And I think the fact that it's highly used in the Russian community is really a signal to us that, hey, there's actually a massive opportunity here in the United States to make it equally popular. It just happens to be in the Russian community now because that's where it started. In fact, our CTO actually lives in Moscow, knows the people, so that's actually how our business started.
Yes, a question here.
How many of the contributors to ClickHouse are from your company?
Right now, 2. And the numbers are, so Yandex currently has something like 8, not all of them equally active. We are building a business like this is a bit like Monopoly. Every time we get more money, we go buy another committer. So one of our things that we're doing when we're raising funding is actually to address exactly that problem, is to get as many committers as possible.
And last question.
So I backed Greenplum, which was based on open source Postgres.
Yes.
And the reason that the company exploded was because of Postgres. That's a question that was being asked. So how vibrant is the open source community that you're baking your company on? And if you could give us an idea on how many downloads a week, a month, are we talking about in the billions, or is it like a super small project?
I don't have those numbers actually because it comes out of Yandex, but it's pretty large. So I can give you an idea that the Telegram user group, just to give you, that's sort of where you go to get help. The Telegram Russian language user group has about 2,600 members right now. The English language one has something like 500. We do meetups in Europe. We typically get, because one of the things we do this for community organization, we typically get 100 plus attendees. The largest meetups we've had have actually been in China, where we've gotten hundreds of attendees. So there's definitely a community out there. One more thing that I would say is just as validation. If you go check with customers or people that you're investing in, or you go check with enterprise customers or people like Comcast, you will find they're actually using this, they're just not talking about it. So there's actually a surprising level of penetration, particularly among the early adopters.
All right, Robert, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's give him a hand.